Michelle Miller from CBS Saturday Morning. Welcome to The Dish. Today we're meeting 3 chefs who have been recognized with the food industry's highest honor, the prestigious James Beard Award. We sit down with a Michelin-starred chef who took 6 trips back to his home country to perfect his latest cookbook. Then we'll meet an Oklahoma City chef who continues to build his food empire with the opening of his 4th restaurant. But first, we head to the nation's capital to meet a chef who went from the NFL sidelines to the James Beard Award winner for Emerging Chef. Chef Masako Morishita grew up in Japan, where her family owned a restaurant. But after moving to the United States as a teenager, she found herself captain of the Washington Commanders cheer squad. When she was benched from the team after an injury in 2018, she reconnected with cooking, becoming the first Japanese woman to lead the kitchen at Perry's in Washington, D.C. Jan Crawford has the story on this American dream come true.
Masako Morishita!
When they called my name, I just couldn't believe it. I almost fell.
For Masako Morishita,
This is my wildest American dream came true.
winning the James Beard Emerging Chef Award is another chapter in her story of American dreams.
I really believe happy people make happy food.
You think that the emotions can kind of go into?
100%.
Something she learned growing up in Kobe, Japan, in the restaurant her family has owned for almost a century. But Morishita says it was a uniquely American job. As captain of an NFL cheerleading squad that helped her succeed in the kitchen here.
When I was cheering, it was 35 ladies on the team that I had to lead. Actually, kitchen is completely different environment, but my leadership style never changed.
But when she was sidelined in Washington with a torn hamstring in 2018, Morishita reconnected with cooking. Working as a chef at a wine bar and opening pop-up restaurants before becoming the first Japanese woman to lead the kitchen at Perry's, a sushi institution in the nation's capital.
This is part of what you call Japanese comfort food.
With a modern twist.
With a modern twist.
Yes.
Here, she focuses on the kind of food she grew up eating back home.
I really hope my food transfer all the people back to my parents' house.
So you want them to feel like
yes,
it's part of being part of your family.
Exactly.
This is the trick, right?
She showed me the trick to her signature dumplings.
Dumpling is the first thing I learned from my mom, probably when I was 2-3 years old.
One of many dishes she serves as a sophisticated spin on a childhood favorite, like udon carbonara.
A little bit of powdered kombu tea. So we actually use that as a secret ingredient. So
you
this
told us your secret.
Yeah.
That kind of fusion cooking is a lot like her own life, with her wildly different and daring experiences all coming together, like studying abroad in the U.S. as a teenager.
Did you get homesick?
No.
Not at all?
0. I had a great time.
Living in rural Wisconsin with the host family.
They always told me there's no dangerous person in this community, but you have to be careful with bears.
To fit in an American high school, Morishita tried out to be a cheerleader.
I thought they were so cool, but we don't have it in Japan. The coaches were like, okay, she can't really dance. So they actually offered me, do you want to start with a mascot?
A mascot,
yes.
Okay.
But soon she made the squad.
Thank you so much.
And now, as she wins her industry's highest honors, the chef credits family as her cheerleaders.
My husband, Brad, has been a biggest cheerleader of mine. He's crying right now.
And Morishita gets emotional when she thinks about her parents' sacrifice at their own restaurant, which was destroyed in the 1995 earthquake in Kobe.
My family barn restaurant actually burned down.
Oh,
completely.
No. So they lost everything.
We lost everything.
What makes you feel emotional when you talk about that?
It's a lot of challenge I've seen my family went through. So for me to make them proud is very important.
That pride was obvious when we caught up with Morishita and her mother on a visit back home in Japan.
She must be so proud of you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
My mom thinks my grandma should be really proud in heaven.
Ah,
And for this chef whose family inspires her food, that may be the review that matters most.
I just want to keep like making Japanese moms proud.
including your own.
Yes. Yes.
This time with so many others cheering her on. For CBS Mornings, I'm Jan Crawford in Washington.
Up next, we meet a 3-time James Beard Award winner out with a new cookbook featuring recipes celebrating his Egyptian heritage. Michelin-starred chef Michael Mina opened his first restaurant in San Francisco at just 23 years old. 3 decades later, there are now more than 30 restaurants in the Mina Group. His new cookbook, My Egypt, is full of recipes and flavors he grew up on. He and his team spent 7 years putting it together, including 6 trips to his homeland. Dana Jacobson has more.
I feel very honored, Chef. I mean, it's like I'm in your kitchen. This is awesome.
You can be here all night if you want.
At New York City's Bourbon Steak by Michael Mina, it didn't take long to understand why the chef is a global sensation.
We're going to cook a ribeye for you, bone-in,
Fantastic.
dry-aged ribeye. And so what we do is kind of a reverse method of cooking in the sense that we butter poach the steaks at about 120, 125 degrees. We get it just under rare, and then we put it on a 900-degree grill and get the char on it. When you flip a steak, so many times people flip it and put it right in the same spot. You have to go to a different spot on your grill. So that spot's the coldest spot now on the grill. At the end of this is the most important part of cooking a steak.
Right.
The resting of the meat. You can't cut into the meat. You want that juice to settle into the meat. Brush a little bit of red wine butter on it.
Oh, nice.
And we'll just put it on the plate. And we're just gonna go ahead and let that rest.
The cooking lesson was just one part of our visit. The other, of course, a sumptuous feast, including that ribeye.
I mean, I know you were eyeing it.
I know. I mean, it's not fair to have me cook it and back with you and watch you cook it and not get.
Because I love ribeye, but ribeye not quite as tender as like filet. But this is
Yeah, but
really
that's
tender.
crazy tender. That's usually.
That's the butter poaching.
Oh my God.
What do you got on the book tonight?
Mina opened his first restaurant, Aqua, in San Francisco at age 23. 3 decades later, there are 30 restaurants in the Mina Group.
Enjoying yourself?
Yeah, of course. I'm happy to be here. Very happy to be here.
Born in Egypt, Ashraf Mina, as he was known then, moved with his family at age 2 to a small town in the middle of Washington state.
It was the second largest rodeo in the nation. So if you want to understand the demographic a little bit, and it was hard growing up there. It was
People
hard.
didn't look like you.
Didn't look like me. And look, I didn't have it nearly as bad as so many people in the world have had it. So there's no poor me or anything like that. It's just when I had the opportunity when I was 18 and I went to culinary school, I went with my middle name, which was Michael. I had gone with Ashraf my whole life.
His family, who are Coptic Christians, left Egypt to escape religious persecution and give Mina and his 2 siblings more opportunity.
What did your parents think of the fact that you wanted to cook?
When you're from that country, and from a lot of countries, you get some choices. Like, you can be a doctor, you can be a lawyer, you can be an engineer.
Right.
You can be any one of the 3.
But that's it. You're going to be one of those 3,
pretty much.
yeah.
My mom was on the ground crying.
Right.
My dad's say, tabach, tabach. That's the word for cook, servant, basically. We moved to the United States. We did all this so you could be a tabach,
But Mina says, to his father's credit, he then helped his son follow his dream.
My father flew to New York, and he went to the Culinary Institute of America, and he was so impressed. And when he came back, he said, if you're going to do this, this is the only school you can go to, and you have to put everything into this, blah, blah, blah. I got the big speech, and it all worked out.
Very well. It more than worked out.
And now it was their idea all along.
Mina is now incorporating his background into his latest project, the new cookbook, My Egypt.
Many people don't even know I'm Egyptian. So what I wanted to do was go back to Egypt, see the foundation of the food that my mom cooked and take that foundation, learn more about Egyptian cooking, and also then take my career and kind of infuse them together and create dishes to elevate the food.
Like this fava bean falafel known as tamaya, customarily served with tahini and a tomato cucumber salad, elevated with an ahi tuna crudo.
It's just such a great combination.
Oh, it's fantastic.
And a twist on traditional hummus, paired with foie gras, pomegranate seeds, and cauliflower. The recipes in the book, ones Mina and his team crafted over a 7-year journey, including 6 trips back to Egypt.
Each time I went, I would peel back the layers.
Peeling an onion.
Yeah, there was just so much. And so it was narrowing it down to the true essence of what I wanted to come through.
He credits collaboration for his success, including in his latest cookbook. As Mina writes, it is Egypt through his lens, brought into focus through the eyes of others. A mango lobster salad, an appreciation of the prized North African fruit. Smashed potatoes, served alongside beef kebabs, a tribute to the street foods Mina devoured on those trips back.
And you go for $1, they wrap it in a newspaper and they cut it and they put olive oil and a little bit of sea salt and a little bit of herbs on it. And you just walk around eating these potatoes. They're so good.
One of his greatest ongoing collaborators, his mom. This salt-baked bream, served atop zucchini with a citronette sauce, is Mina's take on a dish from childhood.
What my mom did was she would always wrap it in fig leaves.
Okay.
And so it does 2 things. It flavors it really nice, but also the skin comes right off with it.
Mina's sentimental favorite, kushari, an Egyptian staple. Chickpeas, lentils, and rice cooked with pasta, spicy tomato sauce, and crispy onions.
So that's like comfort food. That's straight out of
That's
the book.
when you're going home, call mom, she's making that for you.
Right.
Mina dedicated My Egypt to his family, his wife and kids, and of course, his mom and dad.
My mom told me her picture wasn't big enough. She's feisty.
I like that. I like that.
But they're very proud of the book.
Yeah. It had to take them back, too.
It does. It does.
A homecoming, Michael Mina says, was worth the wait.
I don't think I could have done this 10, 15 years ago. I think I'm really happy that I waited and really, took more time and got more experience. This will definitely be my favorite, because it's just the food, it just really always brings back amazing memories for me.
When we come back, how one chef is taking Oklahoma City by storm with his internationally inspired cuisine. Chef Andrew Black went from working in kitchens in Jamaica to Europe and found his way to the United States after he received a call to cook in Oklahoma City. At first, he didn't even know where Oklahoma City was and said no to moving there twice. Eventually, he fell in love with the city and the people who live there. He opened his first restaurant in town in 2007 on a mission to find himself and has been a force in the city's food scene ever since.
This is a pretty historic neighborhood. Did you know at the time?
I did not know at the time.
When Chef Andrew Black first moved to Oklahoma City's Deep Deuce 5 years ago, the only recognizable landmark from this once thriving black business district was the Calvary Baptist Church.
It's where Martin Luther King once preached. This church is also where a lot of the major gathering for African American civil rights happened.
Then one day, someone texted Black his wish.
And I wish I'd saved the text because it means so much and I get goosebumps each time I think about it. But the person said to me, be sure to carry on your ancestors' legacy.
And while a lot has changed, Black says his 2 restaurants here pay homage to what once was.
Black walnut is casual. Gray sweater, top shelf.
It begins the moment you dream of coming to this restaurant.
This is Natalie. I'm an ambassador with Gray Sweater.
Expect a phone call after you make a reservation to plan your visit.
And then I do want to let you know that we are offering a new service, and we have limo service.
Those special touches are part of Black's philosophy, one woven into the very fabric of gray sweater.
The color gray, is it black, is it white? There's no allegiance. Meaning, no matter what you come in this room and fell in love with, the food, the cocktail, the water menu, the service, it doesn't matter, we're gonna move on. Give me a whole lime, let me cut it, please. It's curiosity, waking up, staying up late at night, questioning yourself, looking around you, talking to the ones around you. How much more can we do?
Doing more started in the kitchens of his native Jamaica before taking him to Europe and finally the U.S.
I wanted to try to find myself. Where would I fit in? And so I got a call to come to Oklahoma City, and I said, where the heck is that?
You knew nothing about Oklahoma City?
Nothing. Nothing.
After saying no twice, Black took a leap of faith. There was just something about the folks here.
When someone sees you in Oklahoma and shake your hand and say they're going to be there, they mean it. Our word is our bond here. It's absolutely one of the best states and the best place to live.
In 2007, he opened his first restaurant just outside of town. Since then, he's opened 4 more, including one in the historic Skirvin Hotel. It's called Pearl Mesta, named after the famed Oklahoma philanthropist and diplomat.
Can I have a cover for this, please?
It's become its own ambassador, bridging cuisines from one nation to another. Like his sorghum glazed sea bass served over black pearl rice, a little butternut vinaigrette, and fried sage.
In this dish alone, there's so many culture. West Africa rice, sorghum, sea bass, passion fruit. There's so many culture in this possibility.
From gray sweater, menu items with a twist. A handmade ice cream cone filled with roasted cauliflower cream, leek, and duck, with burnt potatoes set on a bed of rice.
Cheers.
Ching,
ching. Ching, ching. You are such a tricky meister. It's cold and hot and cold.
Tomatoes with dashi sauce served with conquistador petal, Kaluga caviar, mustard seed pickle, fried kale, and black truffle.
Very refreshing. Very light.
Very light.
We finished off our meal with a few black walnut favorites, macaroni and cheese balls filled with Boursin cheese.
If they're filled with Boursin cheese, where's the macaroni?
It's right there.
It's the casing around the Boursin.
Yeah.
Jerk chicken lollipops with a little mango chutney and truffle parmesan french fries.
I didn't even get to the chutney, boo. That is the right amount of spice all the way around. I love it.
And elevated fried green tomatoes breaded in cornflakes, served with burrata cheese, avocado, and tomato coulis.
It's creamy, a little saltiness, all comes together. Ridiculous salad with entree, 32.
But food isn't his only focus. Believe it or not, the bottled beverage of choice at Gray Sweater isn't always of the grape variety.
People actually buy bottled water.
Yes.
As if it is wine.
Absolutely. All these water represent a different country, different texture, different flavor, and yes, water do comes with different flavor. One of my favorite right here is from Finland, but I've moved on to the champagne waters from Germany.
Champagne water, okay.
And so, wait.
We got flutes out here.
Yes, this bling you will see in the stars' hands in Hollywood sometime. Just
no
like
pop?
that. No.
I hear that's the way you're supposed to open champagne, with no pop.
Price tags can run as high as $140 a bottle.
Clean, refreshing.
Yeah. All right, let's make an okra.
Chef Andrew Black is flipping the script, or in this case, the menu, on what's traditional.
For me, it's about breaking the rules, breaking the tradition. I do take back the ingredients, but I then look at the ingredients and said, what's the story I want to tell?
And people are receptive?
Yes.
Most times?
Think about this, right? Gray Sweater has been open 5 years ago. You know how many people pointed a finger and laughed and said, you will never get a person in that place. Here we are.
For more stories like these and live coverage of breaking news, stream us right here on CBS News 24/7. I'm Michelle Miller. We'll see you next time for another helping of The Dish.